guys. Hi. Welcome to All in Ecoline Lifestyle. Please do subscribe, guys. As you come in, you guys must hit the subscription button so that I can continue to upload, okay? Now, this is states where grocery stores will empty first. Please pay attention, take note, and take this seriously, guys. Gary, Indiana is already going through it. So is other places. You never know when things may change in your city and state. So let's get into this and see what it is that we need to do to prepare, and be ready. Let's get started. Sorry.
States in this country
Educational purposes only.
where the grocery shelves go bare first, not in a movie, in the numbers. Louisiana runs food insecurity at 17.9%, Mississippi at 17.4%, Arkansas at 16.8%, and Mississippi's grocery prices climbed faster last year than in 42 other states. Those are not scare figures, those are the Department of Agriculture and Feeding America and the Retail Price Index behind them. Stack food insecurity, faster than average price hikes, and a fragile supply chain, and you can name the 10 states where a truck delay, a storm, or a bad month at the port does not just pinch a family budget, it clears the shelves. The map is already drawn. Most folks in those 10 states have not looked at it, and every one of you watching lives in a state that is on the ranking somewhere. The only question is where. Here's the part the headlines skip. When a resupply truck misses one delivery to a rural county store, the milk goes in about 6 hours, the eggs in 12, the shelf-stable staples in 72. That is not doomsday. That is a normal Tuesday when something small breaks upstream. Before we get back to it, you've seen where this
Let's continue.
Country's been going. And if it ever gets ugly on your street, whatever happens at your door is going to be over long before help shows up. So I wrote it all down. The SHTF Home Defense Manual. 667 pages on protecting your home. Doors, locks, the plan, the law, and the week nobody's coming. The cheap fix is first before anybody sells you a bunker. $47, and the link's right below this video. All right, back to it. In the 10 states at the top of the risk list, that Tuesday hits harder. More households were already choosing which meal to skip before the shelf ever went bare. No siren, no warning, just a slow, quiet emptying while people scroll past headlines about inflation cooling down. 10 states, 10 cheap, ownable moves that keep your kitchen full when the store is not. What each one is, exactly what it costs, and the one under $4 habit that beats a $300 emergency bucket. Every one of them. Here's what the hype channels will not tell you. One move on this list costs under $4 a week, sits in the pantry you already have, and it is the single thing that decides whether an empty shelf at your store is an inconvenience or a real problem in your kitchen. It is not a bucket. It is not a subscription. It is not a bug out anything. I'm saving it for the end on purpose. Every other trick I hand you is worth about half as much if you skip that one. The reason you have never heard of it is it does not look good on camera. Half the folks selling you the $400 emergency bucket never once ran a pantry through a bad month. They are selling cool because cool gets the click. I'm Rhett Callahan. I run projects at a custom
Guys, I've ordered that. I'm in the state of Florida, so we have hurricanes, so we're used to having things like this. And that's a great investment to have in your home. Let's continue.
Rifle shop up in East Tennessee, so numbers and tolerances are how I think. I got serious about the food side the day I had 2 kids in the house. I did not buy gadgets. I read the Department of Agriculture reports and kept what actually works. I'm here to make you ready, not scared. So here's where we are going. 10 cheap do-today moves
to make you
for
ready
the 10
and
states
not
where the
scared.
shelves go first. What each one is, what is genuinely at stake without it, what it costs, and where to get it this week. We take them in the order food supply crunch actually hits a household. Watch the signals upstream. Stretch what you already have on the shelf. Stock the quiet staples nobody panics for. Stay out of the panic line when a rush starts. Some you have heard, a couple you have not. And the last one is that $4 habit.
Guys, he's right. Stay out of the panic line. Trust me. As soon as they say a hurricane is going to come through Florida, everybody runs to the market at the same time. The same time. It doesn't work because, everybody's not happy. Fights break out, da 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 da. So always be ahead of the game. That is my point. Let's continue.
The question is
Please
not
subscribe,
whether you have
guys.
food in
Thank
the house.
you, and
It
hit
is
the
how many
like.
days can my kitchen feed
Doesn't
my
cost
people
anything.
if the resupply truck does not roll for a week? Once you count it, you cannot uncount it. The first move costs $0 and takes about 10 minutes, and most folks in the 10 highest risk states have never done it. They do not know their state ranks anywhere at all. They see the headline that food inflation is cooling, and they assume that means their store is fine. It does not. It means the national average is fine. If you're in Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Alabama, New Mexico, West Virginia, South Carolina, or Texas, the national average is not describing your grocery aisle. It is describing somebody else's. The Department of Agriculture and Feeding
I wonder why that was all southern states. Interesting. Let's continue.
America published this by state, and the top of the list is stable year to year. Louisiana at 17.9% food insecurity. Mississippi at 17.4%. Arkansas at 16.8%. Oklahoma at 16.6%. Alabama and New Mexico both at 16.4%. The whole southern region runs about 15%, the highest in the country. That is roughly 1 in 6 households already choosing which meal to skip before anything upstream breaks. This is the first layer of the whole game, watching the signals, because you cannot stretch a shelf you do not know is thinning. Data first. Everything else is downstream of that. The move.
Okay, guys, did you get what he was saying? You cannot stretch a shelf that you don't know is thinning, meaning inside of the grocery store where you I've noticed that, and guess who does it? Walmart at the small just with the veggie, and it's a small Walmart. They call it the veggie something, a small. I'm sorry. However, guys, a small Walmart, not the super center, but anyways, they may have, say, this canned spaghetti, and I far from eat like that. Okay, they may have it one week, but you come back to the same space, they'll still have a Chef Boyardee brand, but it'll just be a different brand because it didn't come through on inventory. That's what it means. I don't know. It's like it's almost like a food shortage like type thing. Let's continue.
It's free. Pull up the Feeding America Map the Meal Gap on your phone, type in your county, and screenshot the number. Then check your state food security ranking. 10 minutes, $0. Now you know where you actually sit, not where the national headline says you sit. Do it before you finish the video. 10 minutes. A screenshot. Now you know. But no.
This tells you where you what's going on at your local supermarkets, meaning like the port of the food, the transportation of the food, like inventory, logistics. Let's continue.
Knowing your rank does not help if you do not know how fast your groceries are climbing. And that is the next one, the price creep. Every family in the top 10 states is already paying, and most have not tracked. Here is what stacked inflation actually does to a family. Food at home prices jumped 11.4% in 2022, another 5% in 2023, another 1.2% in 2024, then 2.4% more in 2025 for groceries. Stack those.
That's
same cart,
13
same brand,
overly
same
percent.
store. Costs roughly 22% more than it did
22%.
in the
I'm sure it's that.
2021.
Oh,
Most families
my
never do that
gee.
math. They just feel poorer at checkout and blame themselves. In the top 10 states, that math is meaner. Your groceries are climbing faster than the national number. The state-by-state numbers are ugly. Over the last measured stretch, Mississippi grocery prices rose 2.64%, West Virginia 2.57%, Arkansas 2.49%, Kentucky 2.41%, Louisiana 2.39%. Meanwhile, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Maryland, the low-risk states, set around 1.5 to 1.7. The exact places where households were already food insecure are the exact places grocery prices are climbing fastest. That is not coincidence. That is supply chain reach, low local production, and thin retail competition compounding. This is still the
Exactly. It's called supply chain change reach.